So it's time to look at the Master of the Ultramarines. No, not their Primarch, their Chapter Master. Mr. I-Cast Fist himself, Marneus Calgar. And Imperium issues 69, nice, and 70. Yes, I do actually know what 69 refers to. But, I won't be explaining it for anyone too young to understand. I'm sorry, you're too young. So, first of all, we've got the back part of Calgar with... Honestly, I really like the Aquila backpack. Out of all of the model, just the Aquilas on the backpack are the part that I like the most. Now, other parts are a different story. He's got a nid on his base. How fitting. I think it was a Black Legionary who took him out. So yeah, during the war on Vigilus, Marneus Calgar got laid low by the Black Legion, if I remember correctly, and then was saved through the Rubicon Primaris. Interesting time for him. So let's first take a look at the contents of this. So we've got Master of the Ultramarines, Gauntlets of Ultramar, bit on him. We've got Ancient. So hey, that's the model that came in Conquest issue 5. I have that somewhere, thanks to actually ending up with it off a second-hand lot. So we've got bit of lore on Marneus Calgar, bit of lore on the Honor Guard, who are now the Victrix Guard. That's part of this. We've got a bit on the Emperor creating the Space Marines. We've got the list of the first founding, and we still don't know much about them, but they did something really bad, and the Imperium and the Emperor eradicated them. Apparently, Guiliman ended up getting a lot of their number to bulk out his legion, which decent. We've got some of the Rhino variants here from some of the Predator variants, because we've got the 2 basic Predators and we've got the Blood Angels exclusive Baal Predator. I kind of wish there was more versions of Predator, really, instead of, I'm not the biggest fan of a lot of the Primaris Grav vehicles outside of the Repulsor. Yeah, I've got the Vindicator, the Whirlwind, and the Discontinued. You can't buy those retail anymore, last I looked. And funny enough, I never actually owned either of them. I did at one point scratch bash a Hunter turret section for a mate of mine, but never really went beyond that. We've got the Rhino and the Razorback. Now there are actually more loadouts for the Razorback. That one you can't do at the moment. You can't actually make that without having a Land Raider Crusader, because I believe they got rid of the Crusader upgrade sprue, which is a shame because it was a really useful sprue. But yeah, the main options that I know of for the Razorback's weapons were the 2 defaults that come in the plastic kit, which is the Heavy Bolter and the Twin Heavy Bolter and the Twin Last Cannon, or Twin Linked. There was also a single multi-melter version. There was a Last Cannon and Twin Plasma Gun, which that came from the 90s. I used to actually have a Marine sitting in the turret for it. There was a Twin Heavy Flamer, which was a Forge World option, as was the multi-melter. There was the Assault Cannon, and I think there was another version. There was, I think, the Grey Knights exclusive Twin Psy Cannon one, but I don't know much of what's happened with that. We've got a Land Raiders. We've got a thing on the Land Raiders. Now this only covers the 3 main variants that GW produce in plastic. We've got the same version of Drop Pod, there are multiple versions of drop pods. There were so many Land Raider versions. I'm not sure how many of them still exist. Hey, we have the first in the Rogue Trader series. Nice. Oh, okay. So that's the same Rogue Trader from previously. Cool. Yeah, because like in the last video that I did, we'd read story 5 of hers. And now we have story 1. I don't have most of the ones. Oh, hey. So we've got, that looks like a Jakera weaponsmith, if I'm not mistaken. No. Yeah, it is. It's a Jakera. Nice. We've got mostly human. Mostly. Oh, hey. Alika Vane and Jana Strecker. Doesn't Alika, get on really bloody well with Guiliman to the point that she calls him Robute? It's like anyone else would probably get told to pound sand, but Guiliman's like, you know what? I like you. Yeah, we've got the instructions for Calgar. We've got some Warlord. We've got some Warlord traits from the previous edition. We've got a bit of a tutorial on tactics for some of the infiltrator models that came as part of a different issue. Funny enough, I'm short the issue that comes with the last of them. Oh dear. Oh well. And a mission. Okay, that's got that issue out of the way. And what is this? And why was that in there? Oh, that's neat. Yeah, so these, in relation to the last video where I talked about Guiliman, these 3 are the ones that came in the Triumvirate of the Primarch. We've got Greyfax. Gallia Shalom hasn't got a model outside of maybe one of the books, outside of maybe the Inquisitor model game. We've got warp stuff on the warp storms. Oh, this is Ultramar during that time, so I'll read that and summarize it later on. Let's grab the other issue. Now, this issue comes with actually the Victrix guard. So the previous issue came with mostly Calgar's parts, and these come with the Victrix honor guard, and the sprue's got bent over time. I don't think that was how it was in the magazine. I think that's my fault, because I think it happened while this was in storage. So we've got the gorgeous Ultramar shields. Got some nice torsos and love the tow bar. Not the tow bar. That has a proper name. I can't remember it. I should remember it because I plan on cosplaying an Imperial Legionary from Skyrim. We've got these guys with the really nice power swords. We've got some bases. These smaller ones are for the bodyguards. The big one is for Calgar. I'm so used to saying Guiliman. So this issue talks about Calgar a bit, talks about the Victrix. Oh, I got Lauren Keldor Drago. My question, how coherent that man is at this point, given how long he's spent in the warp. We've got Kara and Crow. That sword is evil incarnate, and it's amazing that Crow hasn't been corrupted by it. We have a painting guide on Calgar and his bodyguard. And a neat head painting guide. Okay, that's useful. We've got the helmeted head there. Actually, I really like that helmeted head. That's a nice helmeted head. We've got a guide on painting his bear head. We've got some of the guide on painting his hoses. We've got the old 9th ed data sheet. We've got a tutorial on something. precision strike, and we've got some bit of mission. The war on Calgar's skull turning steadily against the Ultramarines commanders turned once more to their chapter master for inspiration, drawing together a plan from the teachings of the Codex Astartes and the battle record of Marneus Calgar. The Ultramarines command have devised a plan to launch a surgical strike behind enemy lines to draw Necron forces away from the front line. I'm not sure how well that's going to work. The Necrons kind of expect something like that normally. On defensive, taking the initiative. And this gives the mission stuff for that. Then the back kind of talks about the next couple of issues, which come with Lynch Guard. Except they didn't for me, because I chose to kind of forego that, and it screwed up the order of things with the magazine. Not that, you know, things have been perfect. Once again, I have to talk about the stuff up of supply lines with the Imperium magazine. I would have done this video probably end of last year. Not end of last year, probably end of 23. If these had arrived promptly. This one arrived with Calgar. That one, it arrived on time. This took 3 months. Took something like 3 months to arrive. And then the next issue after this arrived fine. I had that issue throughout Imperium. I had a bit of it with Conquest, but there was more along the lines of them stuffing things up a bit. But the newsagent end. And I think the newsagent's under different people now. But, like, there was issues with, you know, getting issues sometimes. So, yeah, I'm going to build up Calgar and the Victrix Guard. And so, we've got him built up and we've got them on the beginnings of custom bases now. I'll be finishing these bases up in the new, well, later on. So, we've got them on custom bases and we've got them built up. Now, I've got the shield arms not attached to them, and parts of Calgar aren't yet permanently attached and are instead just held on with friction, purely to make painting them easier, because there's a lot of spots where the brush is going to be a bit of a nuisance to get in, or even the spray primer. Plus, you know, having the heads not be attached when priming is actually helpful, especially with sculpts like these. So, the Victrix Guard are a neat thing. Back in the days of Calgar's old models, particularly kind of 5th Ed era, so maybe his previous model? Yeah, probably his previous models. I actually really liked the Ultramarines bodyguard, particularly because of the helmets. And you can see the helmet here. Like, that helmet looks really cool. And I kind of wanted them to convert into Blood Ravens, but the unit was super expensive, so I never did. Remember when there was a dedicated Honor Guard unit called Honor Guard, or Chapter Bodyguard? Yeah, it's like Pepperidge Farm remembers. But yeah. So yeah, the design of these is neat. I like their power swords. I like their shields. I love Calgar's backpack. From the front, though, it looks like he has a jump pack. And then you look at the back of it, and no, it's not a jump pack. It's just a backpack. His gauntlets of Ultramar are neat, and I feel like he's going to be a pain in the ass to paint because of all those robes. And I didn't attach the part with the coat as a separate one. So yeah, the head is loose in that it's just held in with friction, which is better than I can say for the Victrix Guard. But yeah, the Nid head that comes on his base is cute. Like, he's a neat model. He is going to be a pain in the butt to paint, particularly because of parts that cross over each other, although I've kind of set up the backpack so it's a separate piece with ammo feeds and all. That's kind of why the ammo feeds don't connect properly, and I couldn't find my drill, so I haven't drilled the barrels. That being said, that's a pretty needless step that really doesn't do much to form miniatures. Anyway, what do I say to get this? I mean, it's been more than a year since it's been probably about a year since you could get this issue here in Australia, but if you want to get yourself the Chapter Master of the Ultramarines, go for it. Just try and get him on some kind of a discount. Oh, the shield arm on this one is not sitting flush. So yeah, if you can get him on discount, go for it. I think these days he has to have the bodyguard with him, which is kind of a shame because he is kind of cool just on his own. But I mean, having a bodyguard with someone as important as Marneus Calgar is probably a good thing. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and what are your thoughts on the Ultramarines? Do you think they're the most basic and boring thing ever? Do you think they're amazing? How do you feel about them? Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I will be back with more soon, and more Ultramarines soon.